What's up guys, Justin at Empire Music, empiremusic.com, here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And today I'm taking a closer look at the new Fender Player 2 Modified Stratocaster. So the Player 2 Modified is just launching here in spring of 2025, kind of fresh on the heels of the Player 2 launch last year. So here we have a continuation of the Player 2 series, and as you would expect from the name of this series, we have modifications to that Player 2 platform. So we'll get into these guitars in just a second. First, I want to remind you, all the guitars in the video here, all the new colorways, all the features, every guitar is listed by serial number at the Empire Music website, empiremusic.com. So you'll find photos by serial number, and remember, we do a full pro setup on these guitars before they ship to you. So we dial these things in, making sure that what you buy from us exceeds your expectations. All right, the Player 2 Modified Stratocaster. So as the name implies, we have some modifications to the Player 2 series with these guitars. So what Fender does is they take a lot of mods that us, the players, make to our Fender guitars, and they do it at the factory level. So, pro install, just built into the guitar from the ground up. So these are a little more high performance than what you would find out of the Player 2 lineup. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's get right into it. So out of the gate, we have upgraded electronics. We have a noiseless pickup on these Player 2 modified Strats that really give you that really kind of crystal clean Stratocaster sound without the 60 cycle hum. So it's a great signal. It's a great start to a signal path that you want to process, through various gain stages, modulation effects. I had some chorus on the intro, but as a starting point for your tone for really processing a guitar signal, these work really well. They don't do what a traditional pickup does, so a lot of us like what a traditional pickup does, like an Alnico pickup. There's little artifacts in those. There's probably a little more bell-like chime than what you would find on a noiseless pickup. But again, these are kind of a different beast. They're going for something different. Maybe this works for you, maybe it doesn't. But that's our starting point for tone. So traditional Strat controls on this, 5-way switch, nothing crazy there, but Fender adds a push-pull knob on the bottom tone, and that's going to, when you're in the bridge position, incorporate the neck pickup. So it gives you an extra expanded dynamic range with that extra position. All right, in keeping with the body, let's talk colors. We have exciting new finishes on these guitars, and I say exciting because it is exciting. We look at the same guitars all day long here in the shop and on our website, and it's always refreshing when Fender comes out with some new colorways to grab our attention. So here we have in my hands, this one kind of grabbed my attention right away at the NAMM show this year. This is the Harvest Green Metallic. Not a color, dark green you don't really see too often on a Fender standard production instrument, so very cool guitar, maple fingerboard. And over my shoulder here behind me, we have a 3-tone Sunburst with the maple fingerboard. And over my shoulder up above, also a new finish, kind of a deep purple called Dusk, that in low light looks very dark, almost black, and then with more light on it, the purple shines through. It's a very cool rosewood fingerboard on that. And then Olympic Pearl, standout classic with rosewood board, Sunshine Yellow, that's a new colorway, and Electric Blue over my other shoulder. So as you see here, rosewood is back in this line. This line kind of takes the place of the Player Plus series, which used Pal Ferro for the fingerboard material. Fender has reincorporated rosewood into the Player 2 series and now the Player 2 Modified series. So something we know and love, timeless look and feel, all that good stuff. So moving on, we have, I'll talk about the neck. Let's continue to talk about the neck here a little bit. We have a modern C-shaped neck with a nice rolled edge on it. Very sleek. These, like I said, a little more high performance, 9.5-inch radius. So not a compound radius, anything like that, just straight 9.5. These feel really good. Satin finish, just, feels kind of nice and worn in hand, not overly glossed or anything. Tuning stability, big story with these guitars. Locking tuners at the top of the guitar, it's something that I do to a lot of my Fender guitars. Add these tuners on. Fender does it from the factory on these models, so Tuning stability, quick string changes with the locking tuners, and a tusk nut. So again, using the tremolo, which I didn't put the trem arm on for this video, but using the trem arm, a tusk nut, strings really don't get hung up in there as much as other materials. So just a more premium material built for stability. What else can we say here? Just a really nicely feeling guitar. Feels very solid. Aaron in our service department did a great setup on this one. I will say that we check these guitars when they come in. If they don't meet our expectation as to what they should play like, feel like, they do go back to Fender. So we are, we have a couple levels here of QC between Fender and you when you purchase from Empire Music, because this will get a full setup after it's purchased and before it ships to you as well. So let's get into it. I'll play this guitar a little bit. We'll give you some clean sound samples and some overdrive. more thing I'll mention about the Player 2 modified Stratocaster is there is a treble bleed incorporated with the volume knob. So as you roll that volume down, it still retains clarity. Really cool feature there. Tried to demonstrate the push-pull knob, incorporating that neck pickup with the bridge pickup when I was running both clean and overdriven. So really nice solid guitar though. If you have questions about these instruments or want to see full specs, go to the website, check out the product pages. We do have a chat feature on there. Always call the shop. Anyone that picks up the phone knows these guitars, and we can dial these in to suit your needs. Thank you for watching.